And you made it. Karibu Mheshimiwa. Good to see you.
Jeff, and nice to see you again.
Yeah, where's your friend? Where's Kibaki?
I'm informed by his aides that he's on his way. He's somewhere along Outer Ring.
Right.
That was 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
So, on average, given the traffic status, he should now be approaching State House Road and quickly to Dennis Street.
Absolutely.
So let's wait for him. He'll come.
As we wait for him,
yes.
The mountain, let's face it, Mheshimiwa, the mountain is in a turmoil and it's degenerated into a Mount Kenya East versus Mount Kenya West. What is that about?
Thanks once again for this invitation. When I was here on Monday, and the morning show with Sam Gituku, I said the issue of Mount Kenya region is very complex, it's very complicated. It needs adequate attention and elaborate conversation. There are many dimensions to this matter. First, is Mount Kenya an isolated region, and its role and responsibility in Kenya's political process indispensable? I would say yes, because we are part of this country. You know, people respect us, we respect them, we are one nation. However, the results of the political movement around the political elite, those who are in leadership, the individuals who are, prominent, doesn't necessarily reflect the community interest. Neither does it imply that there is a division because leaders are positioned themselves. And I think it's good that we address this matter openly, boldly, and unapologetically. One, it is wrong for leaders to parade themselves in June 2021, 13 months to the general election that is coming on Tuesday, 9th of August 2022, and start making some demands to the rest of the country. Who are you speaking to? I think we have become reckless and mannerless to the extent that we present all our issues, even when they are not important, to the whole country, and in the process we are exposing ourselves as either ungrateful, impatient, or with a little bit of a trivial entitlement.
But let me ask you this, Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
We've never been down this road before, meaning Mount Kenya region has never been down this road before. It's always been together as one block. Is this about succession politics?
I think even now the people of Mount Kenya are together. The issues of Mount Kenya region are together. It is politicians who are not together because of their vested interests. But because the incumbent president is from the region, that makes matters a little heavier, because a community, because of where we are coming from, there are some expectations which should have been resolved in 2010. And when we went to the polls in 2019, the Constitution 2010 really implied a new dispensation that the government will be the face of Kenya. All right? So the fact that people are complaining when Uhuru Kenyatta is at the helm, and Jeff, we need to step back and spotlight the reality of leadership in this country. When we are 43 ethnic groups with some sub-ethnic communities within. If you go to the Luyas, there are the Bukuzu, there are the Malagoris, and many others, smaller ones. If you go to Embu, they can say we are Embus, but there is Embu, there is Mumbere. If you go to Meru, there is a Mumeru, there is Igembe, there is Mudaraka, there is Mutiganis. Okay? So we are very many and very diversified people. And for people to claim, I'd like to say this on the onset, I would have loved my brother Kaboko to be here when you are discussing this, because When we were organizing the meeting to Nyeri, we were together. But I personally stepped back and I did not attend that meeting because the agenda is not agreeable. What are you telling the country? That you want to be in the next government when Uhuru is the president? When the head of the military is from your region? When the control of state house is from your region? When the head of the civil service is from your region? When the man coordinating interior, principal secretary is from your region? When the chairman of KRA is from your region? When the director of KRA is from your region? When the head of the intelligence in this country is from your region? What are you telling the rest of the country? These politicians who are my friends are setting our community and our region to ridicule and public odium from the rest of the country. And they should stop. When I see veterans like Kibaki Murungi saying we have been helping people of Mount Kenya West, we have been hunting with our dog, and now there's a game of dogs and cats. Kibaki Murungi is an incumbent governor. He is one of the longest serving. In fact, nobody occupying a seat today has been elected more times than Kibaki. Since 1982 to current, he has not lost an election. So, and he was very pivotal in the government of Kibaki. He was very inside. And then became a pioneer senator for Meru County, 2013. And now occupying the position of governor. And the person he replaced occupies the ministry with the largest parastatus, my friend and college mate, Peter Munya. So when you see Kibaki complaining and starting telling the Merus that the Kikus on the western side of Mount Kenya are bad, he's just being parochial.
By the way, let's listen to that. I think we had the soundbite from this weekend. For those of you who missed that, let's take a listen to that. Kibaki Murungi over the weekend. Let's take a listen.
Mimi nimesema nimechoka na siasa ya umbwa na paka. Even dog is important when you are hunting. It should also be important when you are eating. Tuachana mambo ya tamaa. Tuwasupport Kibaki miaka 10. Na tuwe na nkoronjeka sana. Sidio? We have supported Uhuru for 10. Let us not hear of another candidate ambaye ametoka huko.
Watu ambao walishindwa kura akina Kabogo, sijui Waweru, Waiguru, nimeona Mwangi wa Iria, wale wapo. My friends, we are not children from a lesser God. We have stood with you people for a very long time. If you find now Muturi does not fit, si kumutusi na kumudharau na nini, sababu natudharau sisi sote. Hii haitaendelea tena. Wacha kama ni kupasuka, ipasuke. Watu waende kivyao. Hamtatukulia kwa mfuko kama njugu karanga permanently. You can cheat people sometime, you will not cheat all the people all the time.
Na ndio tunaona tuna consult na viongozi tutengeneze chama yetu ya Wameru. Bali hiyo nyati imeanguka, hata sisi tuwe na kisu yetu tunajikatia hapo.
Okay, it's obvious that when retired President Mwai Kibaki left the scene, there was an obvious successor. It was President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, it doesn't seem like there's an obvious succession plan.
Now, let me come to that, Jeff. But that clip is very important. You know what Kibaki was said? And I talk about him because, first, he is my friend. We have worked very closely with Kibaki. And he has even captured our work together in his book called In the Mind of Politics. He addresses the issue of being realistic and all that. He is talking about a Meru party. Kibaki is a very highly educated lawyer, all the way to Harvard from University of Nairobi. And now he is talking about a tribal party. He is not even talking an ethnic party, he is talking a sub-tribal party. It's against the constitution. It's against the political party's laws. You are not supposed and you are not allowed in Kenya to form an ethnic-based party. So you can see it's a question of political survival. He is feeling some fire on the ground from Peter Munya and from other forces. So when politicians want to pursue their parochial interests. They should not subject communities to those very transient pursuits. So if we look at it in that context, even the people, when the meeting happened in Nyeri, hosted by my good friend and my governor, Mwalimu Kahiga, Governor of Nyeri, the agenda went completely out of the way. The people of Nyeri, the people of Kisii, the people of Moyale and all the way to Lamu expect a cabinet government, the national government and the county government to be focusing on delivery. So if you find an incumbent governor, like the one in Nyeri, talking about, in that government, we want to be inside, and you're already flying a flag on behalf of your county. You are the chief executive of a county. And then you are telling people 13 months to the election, in which most of them are seeking to be re-elected, that you want to be in that. Which government are you talking about that you're head of a government? It's a very obnoxious contradiction. It's people who don't know what they're talking about. Today, people want issues on the ground to be addressed. If it's about Nyeri or Murang'a or Kiambu, address the issues of traders around here. I know you may know a village around Kiamba here, and the issues that are happening on the ground. I pass there many times on my way to Limuru. And I can tell you, the messages that are coming from the political class are completely opposite of the feelings and the expectations of the people on the ground.
Is that why, you know, the famous saying, kwa ground mambo ni different?
Kwa ground mambo ni different. And if they want to sample those individuals with whom we sat and organized a meeting for Nyeri, and some of us tried to tell them, let's address issues that need completion before Uhuru vacates the seat. Just like it's happening when Uhuru is going to Kisumu. He is meeting all these leaders from Nyanza. He did it in Kisii. He did it in Western. Now he is doing it in Ukabani. Even in the coast. His adversaries, the governor of Kilifi and the governor of Mombasa, you know, sitting with him and trying to address issues on the ground. First is a failure by Uhuru himself. Failure to address issues at his home, his backyard. Of course, he is not a president for Mount Kenya region. But whatever he is doing in Western, he should do it in Central. He is not doing it. Secondly, leaders who we know are very close to him and who are very influential to him are now parading themselves somewhere in Nyeri and just saying, we want as a community to make this demand, we shall be in that next government.
So you think they're treating him like a lame duck? Is that what you think?
Well, he is lame duck. Uhuru is not being treated as a lame duck, Jeff. In terms of operationalization, look at Jubilee Party. It's completely dead as Dodo. In 2016, I had a long conversation with Kareto Murongi because he was the chairman of the committee co-chairing with the Noah Ekesa, doctor, former minister, of which I was also chairing a committee on political strategy where we are collapsing the 14 parties. But a stage came and we realized, a few of us, about 5, we are 15 in that committee, that things are not going the right way and there will be danger ahead. This collapsing of TNA, URP, and these other small parties, Kareto said no. He could not listen because he was collapsing his bus and was focusing on whatever. So even in the current scenario, Jeff, the biggest dilemma facing we in the political class, the leaders, and it's not only Mount Kenya, by the way. You see what is happening with Karonzo, you know, when he brings his delegation to State House. Look at the messages that Raila gave last week. The dilemma is because of the uncertainties ahead, because there is pandemonium in every political camp, from NASA to Jubilee. But of course, Jubilee is also because it's a ruling party. And the head of Jubilee is the president. And he is not seeing eye with the deputy president, to the extent that they are even abrogating national ethos and values of governance. Like, how do you let an opposition leader bypass an incumbent deputy president to go receive another head of state in Kisumu, converting a Madaraka Day to like a lakeside celebration instead of the national celebration is supposed to be, or even allowing him to speak after the deputy has spoken. And it's a national event. We have lowered the bar. Even at his worst, the man that we hated to support, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, in terms of statecraft, he still retained the bar a little high. Of course, Moi Kibaki was very high. Jomo Kenyatta, of course, was a Pan-Africanist. In the current times, many people, particularly people who speak my vernacular, the Gikuyu, don't want to tell the king that he is not only naked, but he has completely himself, blatantly allowed himself to be subjected to ridicule and to contempt.
But what does that mean? Is that lack of respect, or what is it? Because they openly abuse the head of state here.
Well. I think in that who abuses him?
Other politicians, literally.
But if there is a man who has abused other people, it's Uhuru who has abused people more than he has been abused.
You're not a big fan of BBI or the handshake.
I was. Remember, I mobilized 2017, and on Sunday, 15th of October, we had a press conference with Kaboko, with the mother, with Dr. Kremulia, former Senator Mosset, and other people at Norfolk, and we said, this repeat election is not in order. The IBC is a Tower of Babel. It's full of din and confusion. Let's Raila and Uhuru meet and dialogue, and whatever needs to be done within the constitution in order to bring together. And when Raila did the handshake on the 9th of March 2018, we broke the news before even the media did, that something was happening at Harambee House. I'd even made many visits to Raila, spoke with him and encouraged. But when the first report of BBI was being unveiled at Bomas, the night before, I wrote an article because I saw the report before. People saw it. There was a deliberate leakage, so that as we are trooping to Bomas, we knew what was happening. And I knew, and we knew, many of us, that it was fake. It did not address the 9 pillars of the handshake. And we saw this is going to be a deception, is a fraud. So I did not go to Bomas, and other people did not go that I know. And subsequently, we have not attended any of those meetings. And we have vindicated because BBI 1 fell. Then there was BBI 2, fell. BBI 3, fell. Now BBI in totality, after spending about 14 billion Kenyan shillings, is buried.
Is it dead in the water?
Dead in the water.
There's no chance of...
If you listen to Uhuru speaking when he was meeting the people from Mukabani, he was talking about BBI ilikuwa ina. He was talking in the past. But of course, they can still massage the egos of the ODM people. They have taken Baba to the garden path. And unfortunately, you see what is happening now.
By the way, if you're just joining us just now, former Kiambu County Governor William Kabogo said he was on his way. He's been saying he's been on his way, and I don't know he's on his way from where, but...
He may come.
He may still come.
But nevertheless, we'll proceed.
Yes, life does go on.
Yeah.
Okay, you have had a very soft spot for Deputy President William Ruto, even as you're saying you supported BBI in the beginning.
Yes.
And of course, the handshake you supported.
Yes.
But you have a certain soft spot.
Let me say, if there is a politician who has attacked the deputy president post 2017, and if there's a person who has sat and conversed with Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, and I'm saying this for the first time, about management of Jubilee, direct communication, not through proxies, even exclusive over 1 hour session, is a person from Mukurweini, Kabando.
Like telling him as it is.
And therefore, even today I've seen some people are fabricating something that has been sent to me, supposedly coming from me. It's not on my Twitter. I no longer use Facebook. I'm on my Twitter, at Wakabando, saying that Ruto owes us more than we owe him because he comes from a place where they produce lesser votes than Central Donald. If there's a person who has attacked Ruto, and with legitimate reasons, it is me, and people know that. So if there's a person who has supported Raila, even when I was in Parliament, even communicated to Uhuru about, let's tried to work with these people. And even going with the Kaiseri, to Siraila, and tried to persuade them to work with the government to want some electoral reforms. Before, that was 2015, 2016, we were involved in that. And I can tell you, today, there are very many issues that we attacked Ruto about. All right? The mismanagement of the Jubilee Party, some, like sympathies on issues of ill governance in this sector and the other sector, suffocating of parliamentary roles and all that. Now Ruto is out, has been out. When KEMSA is happening, when 2 billion is being stolen every day. All right? We have seen blatant, brazen abuse of state power. Even raping of the legislature. We have seen people who have stood with Uhuru, like Kibaki Kidhure, in ICC as his lawyer. We have seen people who have been called names, people like Akina Moses Kuria. Many people who have stood. It's like Uhuru hates his people. Anybody who has helped him. And as he is in his twilight years, not years now, twilight months, he wants to befriend the people who oppose him. Not banned. But you cannot hate your own children so that you are liked by the neighbors. You must encompass and embrace the neighbors. But when the children of the neighbors come to your homestead, you don't remove food from the table of your children to give to the neighbors so that you appear you are a very generous person. It doesn't happen. All right?
Very interesting put.
So in terms of what is happening today, unless somebody wants to lie to you, this backyard, because I think the theme of today was or is about the Mount Kenya
region,
traveling in whatever and all that. Around Kiaba here, I repeat Kiaba because I think it's a village related to some of the people who are your friends, maybe a pedigree and all that. I've read your book that was gifted to me by my daughters and my nieces when I turned 47. And I can tell you, today, you may not like William Ruto. All right? But Ruto is speaking to the people. His message is resonating on the ground.
All right, let's take a break and come back. And maybe you know the answer to this question. What went wrong between the president and his deputy? Maybe you would know the answer. What went wrong? And by the way, former Kiambu Governor William Kabogo, I don't know what happened. He was supposed to be on his way. He hasn't showed up. He's a no-show.
You know Kabogo in English means bull.
Correct, the bull.
There is a bull is called a bogo. When it is Kabogo, it's a small bull. So maybe he's in Arboretum.
It's in Arboretum, in a small... All right, let's keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is JKLive. What are your thoughts? Is the mountain rumbling? Is it together? Let's find out after the break with former Mukurweini Member of Parliament, Kabando Wakabando, former student leader as well, back in the day. JKL takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.